I'm writing to share something extraordinary that happened to my son Tommy last month. He's only 10 years old, but what he experienced has changed our entire family. I know it sounds impossible, but I believe the Lord allowed him to see these things for a reason. Here is what Tommy told us about what happened. I was playing in our backyard after school on a Tuesday afternoon. Mom was inside making dinner, and I had my toy cars lined up near the old oak tree, making them race on the dirt path I'd made. The sky started looking really weird, with clouds moving faster than I'd ever seen before, swirling around like they were being stirred. Then everything got really bright and tingly. It felt like when your foot falls asleep, but all over my body. I heard this huge sound like thunder, but deeper, and suddenly I wasn't in my backyard anymore. I wasn't scared, though. I felt peaceful and light, like floating in a swimming pool on a warm day. There was this amazing light all around me, warmer than sitting by the fireplace in winter. As I got closer to it, I heard the most beautiful singing, like the Christmas choir at church, but a million times better. Then I saw him. Jesus was right there, and he looked at me with eyes that were kind and strong at the same time. His hands had marks on them that glowed with light. He called me by name and said I was his child. I started crying because I felt so much love, more than any hug Mom ever gave me. He told me that even though I'm just a kid, he had something important to show me so I could help others understand what's coming. He said there would be 3 times when darkness would cover everything and people would need to know that he's still there with them. Suddenly we were up really high, looking down at the whole world like when you look at a globe in school. I could see all the cities with their lights and cars moving on the highways. But the Lord showed me that soon something was going to happen that would turn off all those lights. He revealed to me that the first darkness would come this December. He showed me exactly when it would start, in the afternoon on December 8th at 2:22. The Lord explained that a huge burst from the sun would hit the earth and make all the electronic things stop working. I saw cars just rolling to a stop on the roads, traffic lights going dark, people's phones not working anymore. Even the screens on microwaves and digital clocks just went blank. At first, people were really scared and confused, but then he showed me something beautiful. Without their phones and computers and TVs, people started talking to each other again. Neighbors who never spoke before came outside and helped each other. Kids played outside together instead of playing video games alone. Families sat together at dinner and actually talked. The Lord revealed to me that the darkness would last for 3 whole days and 3 whole nights. He showed me that many people would finally be quiet enough to hear him speaking to their hearts for the first time in years. Churches filled up with people praying together. Families read the Bible by candlelight. People who had forgotten about God suddenly remembered that they needed him. He explained to me that without all the noise from devices and distractions, people could finally hear his voice calling to them. Prayer meetings started forming everywhere. Young people learned things from grandparents who remembered life before smartphones. Communities organized meals where everyone shared what they had. But he also showed me sad things. Some people in hospitals would die because their machines stopped working. Planes would have trouble landing. The Lord's voice became heavy with sadness when he revealed that many people would die. But he also showed me that more souls would come to him during those 3 days than had come to him in the past 5 years. He showed me that when the 3 days ended, at exactly 2:22 in the afternoon on December 11th, the power would come back on. Many people would be forever changed by what they experienced in the darkness. They would come out knowing that something greater than themselves had touched their lives. Then the vision changed and he showed me the second darkness. The Lord revealed to me that this one would come exactly 4 months after the first one ended, on April 11th, 2026. But this darkness would be completely different. It wouldn't be about machines breaking. It would be a supernatural darkness that some people could see through and others couldn't. He showed me that at exactly midnight on April 11th, this special darkness would cover everything. But people who loved Jesus would have light inside them and could see just fine. People who didn't know Jesus would be in complete darkness, so dark they couldn't even see their own hands. The Lord revealed to me families that were divided by this darkness. In one house, I saw parents moving around normally with light surrounding them, but their teenage son, who had been making fun of Christianity, was trapped in total blackness in his room. But the parents didn't abandon him. They took his hands and started praying over him. By the second day, I watched as the young man fell to his knees crying and asked. Then his face got serious again and the scene changed one more time. He revealed to me the third darkness, which would come exactly 5 months after the second one on September 11th, 2026. This one would be the most intense of all. It would combine the technology breaking from the first darkness with the supernatural darkness from the second one, but everything would be much stronger and more complete. The burst from the sun this time would be so powerful that it would actually destroy the electrical equipment permanently, not just turn it off temporarily. The Lord showed me power lines melting and equipment exploding. After these 3 days, there would be no more middle ground. People would either clearly belong to him or clearly not belong to him. Everyone would have made their choice. But he also showed me something hopeful. Communities that had learned from the first 2 darknesses were prepared. He revealed to me a small town where believers had taken the lessons to heart after the first darkness. They had learned to live simply, to depend on each other, and to trust in him completely. These people had gardens where they grew food together. They had workshops where they made things they needed. They had schools where kids learned practical skills. They had medical care organized by people who saw their abilities as gifts to share. When the third darkness came, the Lord showed me that they were ready. While other communities fell apart in chaos, these towns maintained peace, order, and hope. After the third darkness ended, the world had changed forever. The technological civilization was basically over, but he showed me that something new and beautiful was starting to grow. Neighborhoods where people truly cared for each other, where children grew up learning to work with their hands, where worship was part of daily life, not just something done on Sunday mornings. The Lord explained to me that the survivors would have learned what really matters. They would discover that happiness comes from relationships with him and with each other, not from accumulating stuff or staring at screens. Then Jesus looked at me with very serious eyes and his voice became urgent. He told me that time was running short. He revealed that the first darkness was only about 11 weeks away from when he was showing me this vision. People who wanted to be ready needed to start preparing their hearts right now, not later. He explained to me that these darknesses weren't punishments. They were invitations. Invitations for people to come back to him. Those who accept the invitation would find that even the darkest nights lead to the most beautiful mornings. He told me that he's been calling to people all along, but they couldn't hear him over all their devices and distractions and busy lives. The Lord said that even though I'm just a kid, he was trusting me to share this message. He wants everyone to know that he loves them and is giving them these warnings so they can prepare, not by storing up food and supplies, but by preparing their hearts. By turning to him now before the darkness comes, so they can have his light inside them when everything goes dark. Then everything started fading and I felt myself being pulled back down, back to my backyard, back to my body. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground in our backyard. Mom was kneeling next to me, crying and shaking me, trying to wake me up. Our neighbor, Mr. Peterson, was there too, on his phone calling for help. Mom told me later that I had been lying there not breathing for several minutes. She thought I was dead. The ambulance came really fast and took me to the hospital. The doctors ran all kinds of tests on me, checking my heart and my brain and everything else. But they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They said it was like I had just fallen asleep, except my heart had stopped. They called it a miracle that I woke up with no brain damage or any problems at all. I'm still the same Tommy who likes playing with toy cars and eating Mom's chocolate chip cookies and playing tag with my friends at recess. But inside I'm completely different now because I saw what's coming and Jesus trusted me, just a regular 10-year-old kid, to tell people about it. Mom and Dad believe me. They've started praying more as a family and reading the Bible together every night. Dad even started going back to church with us, which he hadn't done in a long time. They're telling their friends and anyone who will listen about what the Lord showed me. I know that Jesus wants me to share it because he loves every single person and wants everyone to be ready for what's coming. He doesn't want anyone to be caught in the darkness without his light inside them.